the Lord starts to tell me, I'm going to send one of my generals to pray for you. And it's simultaneous like a page. I see a page turn. The nurse that's on the computer behind my heart. And the Lord tells me, this is my servant. And when she goes home at night, she prays for my children.
Glory.
And she thinks no one's listening, but I hear her.
Amen.
Then I'm taken back into the surgery room. And as I'm in the surgery room, the Lord starts to tell me, I'm going to send one of my generals to pray for you. And it's simultaneous like a page. I see a page turn, like a book. I'm going to send one of my generals to pray for you. And as the page turns, I'm seeing the future. And I see myself in the ICU room. And as I see myself awake. I see my head, I see my mom and dad, and I see the warrior angels. So the warrior angels are holding swords. They're surrounding the room. At that point, I look to the right, and I see Pastor Ron coming in. God was sending his general to come pray for me. Pastor Ron walks in. When he walks into the room, the angels look, and I see their eyes. They look at Pastor Ron, and they have a reverence for him, a strong reverence for you, Pastor. And I saw that, a strong, strong reverence for the pastor. But they don't bow to man. They only bow to the Lord. At that point, I see Pastor come in, and I see him start to talk to me and talk to my mom and dad. And then the Lord, like the page turns back and takes me back into the operating room. And as I go back into the operating room, the Lord starts to speak to me about family members. And he starts to tell me specific things that are going on in their lives from when they were little. Hurts that were in their hearts when they were little and he saw them. To where, as young adults, hurts that were going in their lives as young adults. And even as older. Then the Lord started telling me this about heaven. The Lord said, if you were to get a Bible, the thickness of your King James Bible, I got a really big one. The thickness of that Bible, and fill every single page described in heaven. And you were to fill books like that all the way to the sky. And actually, at this point, I'm getting a vision and seeing it. Books stacked all the way to the sky and wrap around the world. There's not enough books that are going to be able to describe what you're going to see when you come home. At that point, the Father starts to speak to me directly, personal things that are happening in my life, and give me comfort that he listens and he hears and he's with us.
Amen.
At the very end, coming to a close of what I experienced there, because there were a few things that share. At the very end, I asked the Father, I said, Lord, how do I come back to reality? With a gentle, audible, powerful voice, the Lord told me, this is reality.
Amen.
And that was the last thing the Father told me.
Wow.
So